Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel for something a little bit different today. I'm not out on track, instead I'm going to invite you behind the scenes of CR Sim Racing. Now, one of the questions I get asked the most is how do you make your sim racing videos? Some of you are interested in making videos yourself, but most of you, you're just curious. So I don't want this to be any sort of in-depth guide on content creation. Instead, I'm just going to pull the curtains back and show you what goes into making one of my race videos. Of course, if you are interested in content creation and you just want some tips or advice, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. If I can do it, anyone can. I don't have a high-end PC and I rely entirely on free software. But for the rest of you, just fancy finding out how one of my races makes it to the channel. We're going to dive straight in. We're going to make a video of a recent Assetto Corsa Competizione race I did in the GT3s at Watkins Glen. I hope you enjoy it. Well, this first bit's the easy bit. I'll run my race completely as normal and record it in full. Any basic video recording software can do this for you. If you've got an NVIDIA graphics card, I'd recommend using GeForce Experience Freeze. It's what I use. Recording gameplay is as simple as hitting Alt F9 on your keyboard. I'll always start recording as soon as I arrive on the grid, and I'll capture the entire race, no matter how long it is or no matter what happens. Now here's where it starts to get a bit more time consuming. When I first started making videos, I wanted to do something that was different to all the other content creators or streamers out there. The common format most YouTubers use for race videos is to upload the race in full, uninterrupted. Of course, that is the quickest and most time efficient way of doing things, but I started thinking about those viewers who haven't got the time to watch an entire race. Some of them can be 30 to 40 minutes long, or even longer than that. So I came up with the idea of shortening the race video by removing all the quieter and non-eventful parts of the race and instead inserting replays of the action you've just seen. Now, a lot of streamers will go back to review their incidents once the race is finished, but I wanted to include the replays as soon as that incident has happened, so it's still fresh in the viewer's mind and it lets them see it from other angles. It's basically exactly the same concept as you'd get on TV when you're watching a brief highlights package of a previous race. It's quick, it's easier to watch, and most importantly, it saves the viewer time. Now, I find it always helps to quickly rewatch the race recording and make a note of all the main incidents that will help me tell the story of that particular race. This could be crashes, overtakes, pit stops or DQs. Once I know roughly where and when all the key incidents happen, I'll use the replay file to record additional clips from a variety of angles. For me, the easiest replay systems are in iRacing and Assetto Corsa Competizione. With these sims, you can easily select driver names or positions from the main HUD and call them up on screen immediately. In other sims, it can take a bit longer to cycle through all the cars on track until you find the one you want. Once I've got all my recordings, I'm ready to edit. With all the race action recorded and saved, it's now time to insert those replay clips into the original race recording. For this, I use the free version of DaVinci Resolve. This basic version contains all the features you'll need to create a decent video. It's a simple process. I just cut my race video at the point I want to stop the live action and then insert that replay clip right in. If you have any custom transition scenes, you can add these in too. I had mine made for me by friend of the channel, Matt Rowson, and they really do make a huge difference to the final video. Now, this is the final step that probably makes my videos the most unique. I'll add commentary as if it was a real motor race. When I first started making my videos, this was another thing I wanted to do, to try and stand out from all the other content creators. In my early videos, I'd actually record my commentary live while I was driving, but I found that incredibly difficult. It was stopping me improve my racing skills. Because I was concentrating so much on what was happening around me in the race to talk about it, I wasn't able to concentrate enough on what I was doing myself on track. So now I record my commentary onto the already edited video. The big advantage of this is that I'm a bit more prepared for when big incidents are going to happen. I do try to make my commentary sound as reactive and as natural as possible, but at the same time I can use it to help tell a story. For example, if I know the driver applying pressure right behind me is about to crash, I can start referring to the rear view mirror. This helps to naturally divert the viewer's attention to ensure they're looking in the right right place when an incident occurs. This is just one of several simple techniques I use to tell the story of a race. Sometimes I'll show clips of another battle or collision on track too. This might help to explain to the viewer why I've closed in on the cars ahead or gained extra positions. Also, when recording commentary, I like to use the real names of drivers, just as if it was a TV broadcast. I'll download a copy of the race entry list to my phone or laptop, so I've got details of all names, car numbers, makes and models to refer to. When it all comes together, it goes something like this. But yeah, this feels like a whole new experience for me in Assetto Corsa Competizione, particularly in low fuel motorsport. It is very rare I qualify this far up the grid, but I'm going to be starting this one today from P5. I've got to admit the nerves are jangling just a little bit now as we wait for the lights to go green, and they have gone green. We are underway for 25 minutes here at Watkins Glen. I've got a fairly decent getaway and I'm going to have the inside line for T1, so it is vital that I hold a tight line here. I've got Taylor Simpson on my outside. Simpson started alongside me on the third row of the grid, and it looks like he's got a better run out of that first turn as we go up through the S's for the first time. So Simpson up to 5th, I'm down to 6th, and I'm being put under all sorts of pressure now from Victor Lecoq behind. That Ferrari swarming over my rear spoiler. Well, the good news is it's now 1 second the gap back to Victor Lecoq in 6th, so we are beginning to make a break from the Ferrari driver, and it does look as well like the pack in front are beginning just to spread out a little bit. I'm now 0.6 of a second behind Simpson, but as I say that, the BMW of Tobias Hoffer has got sideways through the final turn. Hoffer is out of the race, and that all of a sudden puts us up into P4. And yeah, I've got to admit, I'm beginning to feel like I'm hitting the groove now. The car feels good, I feel good, I'm not making any mistakes, and I'm within 0.3 of a second of Taylor Simpson in 3rd now as we come out of the final turn. Now we're approaching 1/3 race distance. We've got Danilo Diverge leading the way, Hendrik Nitschke in 2nd, Simpson 3rd, and me right on his tail in 4th. Oh, look at Lecoq in the rearview mirror. Lecoq tries to move up the inside, and we have lost it. Right, let's take another look at this incident. I'm curious to see from how far back that Ferrari came. It felt like Lecoq was quite a way back. It looks like he's a good couple of car lengths back. When he has a look up the inside, oh yeah, he just tags my rear. I mean, luckily he gave me a secondary hit which pointed me back, facing in the right direction, so at least I got back on track. And fair play to Victor Lecoq as well. He gives me the position straight back there, so no problem with that. He made a mistake and he amended for it. But yeah, really frustrating. We were on for a podium there. Well, 2 corners to go then. I don't think we're going to catch Matthias Borger in that pink Mercedes now, but we've given it a good shot. We've been taking a few tenths out of him every lap, but it's just not quite been enough. We're going to have to settle for P7. All in all, not a bad result, but I feel like I had that podium in me had it not been for that incident at T1 earlier in the race. But we've crossed the line. We're going to take 7th place. Yeah, so there you go. That is the process I go through every time I make a race video for CR Sim Racing. I'm not going to lie, it is a very time-consuming process. Recording the various replay clips can take anywhere between 1 and 2 hours, and editing the race together will often take the same amount of time again. In total, I'd say the average race video will take me around 4 to 6 hours from start to finish. Usually I like to do my commentary standing up, but I did manage to stay sat down for this one purely to stay within camera shot. And yes, for some reason I do always hold on to my ears when commentating. I've absolutely no idea why. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little sneak peek behind the curtain to see exactly what goes into producing content for the channel. But for now, it's goodbye from me, and thank you ever so much for joining me.